Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, November the 17th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, it was 50 years ago today, November 17th, 1968, that something happened that changed forever the way we watch NFL games or football games. Back in 1968, of course, you actually had two leagues. You had the American Football League and the National Football League. CBS would carry the National Football League and NBC would carry the American Football League. And on this day, the Raiders and the Jets were playing in Oakland. Now, those were the two of the best teams in the AFL at the time. And they were playing a very important game in Oakland. And at 7 o'clock, NBC had made a commitment to show the movie Heidi, the movie for, little girls, very popular with little girls. My sister was watching that movie that day. So it turned out that at 7 o'clock, they cut off from the game and they went into the movie Heidi, leaving a big chunk of the country completely disconnected because they couldn't watch the game. Only fans in New York or Oakland who were listening to the radio knew what was going on. The game was absolutely fantastic. Again, two of the great teams, Joe Namath, for example, was the quarterback of the Jets on that day. And the game was super great. And in the last 20 seconds or 30 seconds of the game, the Raiders scored twice to come back and beat the Jets. But again, nobody in the country saw that because they were watching the movie Heidi. And unless, as I said before, unless you were listening to the game in New York or unless you were listening to the game in Oakland, nobody knew what was happening. So NBC got a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of fans protesting their decision, but they had to go through with the movie Heidi because they had made a commitment to show it at 7 o'clock. Well, because of that, they changed the rules, and from now on, the next program does not start until the game or the sporting event has formally concluded. And that came to be known as the Heidi Game. The Heidi Game that changed the way we watch television or watch sports, really all sports. Now what they do is they wait until the game's over before they switch to the new program. Interesting little side story about those two teams. The New York Jets, of course, went on to win the third Super Bowl, and the Oakland Raiders became one of the greatest NFL teams in the 1970s. So two great teams. I think something like 7 or 8 future Hall of Famers were playing on that field that day. But the Heidi Game, as we now call it, changed the way we watch television on this day 50 years ago, November 17th, 1968. So if you have a chance, go to YouTube and you can see some of the highlights of how the game ended. It was just absolutely fantastic. But again, nobody in the country saw that game because of the Heidi movie. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. And if November 17th is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.